Hello there, my friend. I'm Kevin Zensei, Exeter grad, Yale grad, YouTuber, breakdancer, and I also happen to be a professional college counselor that's edited hundreds of college essays and helped dozens of students get into their dream school. In fact, just last year, more than 40 of our students from every background imaginable, ranging from public school students in Florida to boarding school students in the Northeast, to international students from India, Latin America, Canada, you name it. Collectively, they were accepted into every single Ivy League and top 20 school. Today, I'll be sharing some of those tips which have helped our students in the past because we'll be talking about the 5 most common Common App essay mistakes. Make sure you watch to the end though, because the last 2 are by far the most important. Mistake number 1, packing everything into the personal statement. Note that your Common App essay is just one instrument in an orchestra. You don't need to talk about every activity or award you've won here, nor should you. In fact, one of the best winning strategies is to just focus on 1 or 2 key aspects of a core theme or principle you're trying to communicate. For instance, in my own viral emo Common App essay, I focused on selflessness and vulnerability by admitting how, honestly, I wanted to quit when I was working, 12 hours at my parents' Chinese restaurant every day. But ultimately, I stuck through and persevered. Knowing that I was focusing on a more personal dimension in my Common App essay, I made sure to reference tons of intellectual concepts and ideas in my supplements, like magical realism and global diplomacy, since I was applying to be a creative writing and international relations major. This leads us to our second common mistake, the resume dump. Too often, I see students just regurgitate or re-explain their awards and achievements in their Common App essay. Huge mistake. Not only is this rather arrogant and cringe, it kind of defeats the purpose of the essay itself, which is to highlight experiences that can't be found anywhere else in your application or your activities list. Personally, I prefer reading about essays which revolve around family and personal growth, or essays which take a mundane topic or idea and are able to flip it on its head, like the famous Costco essay, which I'll link below. Now, I'm not saying that you can't write about your activities or extracurriculars at all. Of course you can. I'm just saying focus on your personal growth rather than centering an entire narrative around some crowning achievement like winning a tournament or performing at a recital. In fact, those are actually some of the worst, most cliche topics imaginable, so avoid those like the plague. Instead, if you could share your failures or moments of weakness and explain how you overcame them, that would actually be far more powerful. Moving on to problem number 3, which is a mistake that I see over 90% of seniors make: the problem-solution ratio. Basically, this is when students spend the majority of their essay talking about things happening to them, as opposed to them making things happen. Please, please, please avoid this. I've already spoken about this topic in detail in another video, so be sure to check that one out. But just to recap, you're gonna wanna make sure that no more than a third of your essay is related to the problem. Then reserve at least 40 to 50% for your solution, and then the final 20 to 30% should be for your reflection. The one exception to this rule would be if you had to overcome some really insane obstacles, like truly significant medical or financial challenges. Some examples of these would be serving as the primary caretaker of a sick member of your family, or having the electricity or water turned off on you guys because you couldn't afford to pay for utilities. But even then, I would still advise you guys to focus on your solution, on your impact, on your contributions, rather than the problem itself. Why? The reason is because you can actually share these obstacles you face in another part of your application, the additional information section. Ultimately, the Common App essay is being used to figure out what kind of community member you'll be. So your job is to articulate exactly what you can bring to the table. And the way we do that is by referencing your previous leadership experience and your demonstrated solution. All right, friends, I hope you enjoyed that little break. I also wanted to mention that we are available to edit your essays, and we're even taking on scholarship kids this application cycle. So if you would like to work with us or receive our help, please visit our website, www.elevated.school/get-started. All right, back to business. Mistake number 4 is what we call the Eureka problem. This is when a student abruptly shifts from their problem to their solution, and they just claim all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I just figured it out. Even if this is how it actually happened, it still sounds pretty unbelievable. And I don't mean that in a good way. Now to fix this, all you have to do is say something like, there was no overnight solution. It took weeks, even months of, and then you would elaborate and insert specific examples, measures of steps you took. Usually at least 2 or 3. Something good to include here would be to actually introduce a very short second problem. Just 1 or 2 sentences is enough. Then elaborate on how you overcame that too. This would showcase determination and perseverance in the face of trials and tribulations. For instance, let's pretend that you were writing an essay about a beach cleanup. You start by sharing your first problem, which was seeing the dirty beach. So then your initial solution was to recruit folks to help you clean up the trash. But then you found out you couldn't get enough volunteers because, let's be honest, I mean, who wants to be in the sun picking up plastic bottles on a Sunday morning? So your second solution was even more creative. You told your friends that you guys would take the trash and upcycle it by turning it into artwork, and then in true capitalist fashion, sell it online for a profit. This double problem solution template is one of our favorite frameworks, and it works like a charm. And finally, issue number 5. Which makes me want to facepalm every time I read it. Cliché, one-dimensional reflections. Through this experience, I learned the value of hard work and determination. Starting my own nonprofit taught me the importance of community. How do we stop this nonsense? Well, it's very simple. We're gonna take 2 or 3 really interesting values and then fuse them together. Now, using the environmental art example from before, we could take a mundane reflection like, this experience taught me creative problem solving, and upgrade it to something like this. Cleaning up a beach is not just an act of removal. It's an opportunity for creation, a way to promote both awareness and artistic expression. Now, notice what we did there. We actually took the cliche and then just flipped it on its head by going from removal to creation. Admittedly, this is pretty tough for students to do on their own. So if you are looking for professional help, again, please don't hesitate to contact us. You can actually just upload your essay here to www.elevated.school/edit-my-essay, and we'll help you. You'll get feedback back within 2 or 3 days. All right, my friends, that's it for today. Thank you so much for your time, for your attention, and I hope to see you in our next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. This month, it's my birthday, and I would really appreciate your love and support as my present. I genuinely hope you found this content useful, helpful, and I wish you the absolute best of luck in this application cycle. All right, take it easy, guys. Peace.